Yo, 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 GM. How
What's
we
up?
doing? We lost Sergio. We don't know where he went. Mexico won and just he
He went
disappeared.
4 days early.
He has not come back. He's so elated. He's with the 800,000 other Mexicans in Mexico City just celebrating the victory. So,
He had too much FOMO, so we're just gonna let it happen.
um no, I'm glad to be back on the stream. First time obviously streaming with you. So, super excited. Let's just wait a second here and get an audio check from the team. We're also like on totally new tech on my end, so there is a very good chance that we don't have good audio, but let's just see real quick what is happening there. Should get somebody from the team letting us know momentarily if the audio is working. While we wait, if people can hear us, great. If not, how's your day going?
Going well. How's yours?
Not too bad. Okay, it looks like we got good audio,
What time is it in you?
and it is 8:30, 8:30 in the morning. Okay, yeah. Okay, looks like we got good audio and they can hear you. So we got everything right, but the title, it looks like our stream title pushed out the wrong way, which is weird. But that is okay. We can live with that for now. Like I said, we lost Sergio, so we don't know where Sergio is. That was
No.
supposed to be the title. It's supposed to be a clickbait title of where did Sergio go, but um, I think we'll live. So, no, I'm excited. We got a good show today. Some crazy games yesterday that we'll talk about. We're going to talk about some games that are upcoming over the weekend, which I think the first game of the knockout round is going to happen on Sunday. So crazy to think that when you and Sergio come back Monday for the show, we'll be into the knockout stage, which is awesome.
I know it feels like
Um,
the games have just been exciting, obviously, but now it's the death rounds. If you don't
right.
make it, you're gone.
I'm excited too because like the one thing I hate about soccer football is that it can end in a draw.
Yeah.
And so now we're finally to the point where like no more draws. Like somebody
No.
has to win.
And PKs
So
are the worst way to win or the worst way to lose, but honestly, in terms of like adrenaline, they're really fun
yeah,
to win
I'd
in.
say as
But
a viewer, like if every game could go to PKs, I would love that because
really?
it's so like I
Yeah,
love watching PKs have to happen.
that's fair.
So, but we'll see. So, but before we jump into the games and start recapping those, we got some hot takes on some jerseys.
Yes. On the game.
So
Anyone disagrees, just put in the chat. Open to all opinions.
bear with me. Let's just hope our tech works here. But we got some jerseys that we're going to go through. So first jersey we're going to have Sophie and give us a hot take on is France. We got France pulled up here. Hopefully everybody can see that. What do you got for us?
I think that the biggest hot take on this jersey is the collar, but I love it. I think that France's jerseys are just very what's the word? They really symbolize France and their country. And honestly, like the photos of Mbappe, I honestly don't see on my screen right now, but I think that probably my computer. Um, but yeah, I like the blue. I like the little red design too on their logo. So I just think that it's my favorite of the day.
So question, because you obviously played soccer, is the collar like there's women's teams don't wear collars, but like why I think it's only
Blue.
European teams that have collars,
Yeah.
right? Or
No, I've actually played a team that wore a collar. I don't necessarily know if it was a college team, but I know that the Ireland team has collars on their jerseys,
interesting.
and I
Yeah,
think their jersey,
I
which is
feel like
both.
I couldn't play a sport like in a collared shirt. It would just feel
It's my favorite, but I personally wouldn't want to wear it. I just think that like seeing it on France is very cool to
oh,
me. But like,
it looks super classy. It looks
yeah,
great, but as a player, I feel like I couldn't do
yeah,
it.
and it would feel like suffocating almost,
Yeah,
especially when you're running 90 minutes. I mean, not me, I'm a goalie, but them.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so France, hot take number one. Let's go to I believe we got Uruguay.
Yes, I think baby blue is just the best color, especially on jerseys. It just is really vibrant. And my first school in college wore baby blue, so it's kind of why it's my
Which
favorite.
school was that?
San Diego,
Okay.
a little school, yeah.
Honestly, I think one of the most iconic schools in the U.S., the Tar Heels, right, North Carolina, like
Yeah.
very iconic in the baby blue. Um, I'll give a hot take on this jersey. I'm a big. I talked about this actually when I was on Shim with Sergio, which you were out for, so I don't know if you watched it, but and we're actually going to get to this jersey. But I'm a big fan of cool fonts.
Mm,
I love the number. I love the font of the numbers on the Uruguay kit. I think it's which the best font is coming up on a jersey that we're going to talk about in a second. But yeah, great kit. I think this is a great kit for sure.
I do agree with you.
Um,
Fonts have really changed this World Cup, and it's made simple jerseys unique in their own way because it's not just like a really basic font, you know? It's
yeah,
something unique and it's,
changes
to
it.
their
Yeah. Okay, so now on to Spain. We've got Lamine Yamal here. Tell us about Spain.
I I just like that it's a classic Spain jersey. I don't know. And I think that I don't it's hard to put into words, but I like how the stripes go all the way down on the side. I feel like it's adds a little bit of uniqueness because a lot of the jerseys in the World Cup are a little simple to me. And I like the names in the back.
Is that? I guess I haven't really paid attention.
I
Do
think
all
they're
the
on
teams have the names in this World Cup?
I
I feel like
I
they
couldn't
do.
even I feel like they do, but I like that for some reason these names are just like bigger than other names, I believe.
Yeah, I feel like I've
Like
watched
more
some like European league stuff though, where the names aren't on the jerseys.
a lot of teams don't do it, but I think in the World Cup most of them do
Most of them do. Yeah,
because it's your country and you want to like be like this is me. It's my
yeah.
name. I'd be like,
Moving on. So again, you missed the stream with me and Sergio, but this is my favorite jersey of the cup. So we're
really?
Norway. I think they
Okay.
have the best jersey. Their black jersey. So when Sergio and I were streaming, they were wearing their black jersey. I
Yeah.
think it's. I'm a simple guy. Like I only wear black and white shirts. Like if you look at
Fair.
my closet, that's all I have, black and white shirts. But I think that black Norway kit is just it's just minimal. It's clean, and then again going back to the fonts, their font is so good.
Yeah. I do love their jerseys and just I mean, this sounds so Gen Z, but like the vibe that the jerseys bring. And obviously the black uniforms are so nice. It's been my dream to wear a black uniform since I was a kid. Still haven't, but it's fine. Um, but yeah, I love it. I like the red a lot too, honestly. And on Holland, he's so like I don't know. It just looks good.
Yeah, no, it's sick, and again the font. Like I love how their names. This obviously isn't showing the back of the kit, but I love looking at their like Norwegian names spelled in kind of that rune vibe. It just looks so good.
Yeah,
It looks
absolutely.
so sick. What
They also
speaking
have a
of?
font on in terms of like the names. I think that their names are really out there. Not
Oh
out
yeah,
there, but when they're on the field, like you can see it from a mile away.
yeah, it's iconic for sure. One thing I was noticing, it's funny, I have noticed the whole cup, but I don't know if people have caught it, so I'll mention it. Is if you notice on some of the kits, and I've noticed that not all of the teams do it, or maybe it's just in somewhere you can't see, but on a lot of these jerseys, in fact, I'm going to pull us back to just our camera so people can see us. Um, they've like on a lot of the jerseys, it's got the match, which I think's cool. Like so, like
Really?
if
I
it
didn't
was
see that.
U.S. versus Turkey, or I think there's yesterday. Like it'll show like it'll say like it'll have the Turkish flag and the U.S. flag, and it'll say like USA versus Turkey, which I think as a player you'll have to look at it in the games today. I'm sure there will be a team that has it, but
Interesting. And it's on the front of the jersey.
it's on the jerseys, or I think I've seen some on the side. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming obviously it's just like it's World Cup, like you want to like keep that jersey as like a memory of like, oh, I played in that game. So, but I mean, it changes. Like I've noticed they change each game, so it's like they've got to have
Oh yeah.
multiple jerseys. It's a new jersey for each game, and I
Yeah.
don't know, that'd be cool to like go back. A lot of these players only get to play in like maybe one World Cup. Not everybody's Cristiano Ronaldo playing in his sixth World Cup or whatever he's playing in.
Yeah. That's just
Um,
not normal.
so like to have, it'd be cool to have all those jerseys, like have them framed and know exactly what game it was and who you played. So yeah, you'll have
I wonder if
to.
players have like rooms of all their jerseys or how they because if it
I'm
were me, I
sure.
don't know. You say it's been 4 games, like they're gonna have at least 3 jerseys now, and then all the way up until the final if they make it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a lot of production in terms of Nike and Adidas.
You'll have to you'll have to pay attention today and see, and then let me know what you think. But yeah, it's cool. It's got like the match on it. So,
Yeah, that is really cool.
um, well, hot takes on jerseys. I'm a jersey sucker. Um, so yeah, I think for me it's Norway for the whole cup so far. Best jersey. And South Korea, the purple South Korea jersey.
Oh my gosh, I was actually meaning to talk about that. I put it in my notes app. Their jerseys are beautiful.
Yes.
When they were
The,
playing Mexico, I was like, I really liked Mexico's uniform. I think it was all black that day, but I think they took the cake.
yeah, the purple and the lime green.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
And I love how everyone I think that Nike probably gifted the players these cleats, but everyone has like the vibrant pink cleats. And
Okay, I
that's
was
like
wondering, like, how did every country just showed up with pink cleats? Like, it's so random, but it had to
they
have
definitely
been.
get a pair before the cup, but at least the Nike teams for sure. But even Mexico was wearing them and they're Adidas, so I don't
I,
know.
I feel like every team I've watched is wearing
They've
pink.
probably given them to every single player, but
Yeah,
I've been on like Nike's website. I'm like, I'm gonna buy them, but like, no, I don't know.
it's so
Yeah,
weird. I wonder why pink. Like, I wonder why they chose. It's just so random. You'd think they would have chose like
I think
red,
it's like
white, or
a
blue or something. I don't know, but yeah,
like the second you see them on the field, you look, oh, they're wearing bright
it's
pink
like
cleats, and then
iconic.
it
Yeah,
gives like Nike. So then people are like, not, I don't know. It's just very like obviously Nike because Nike is one of the only cleat brands that makes really vibrant pink cleats.
yeah. Cool. Okay, so there were some great games yesterday.
Yes.
Um, you want to kick us off with the first one?
Yeah, we have Ivory Coast and Curacao. Obviously, the Curacao goalie, phenomenal, but yesterday he only had one save and conceded 2 goals. Not saying that that's bad anyway, but I do think that he did not have the performance that he did last time. But yeah, Ivory Coast is in the knockout stage now, which is wild. I
Oh,
would not have guessed that.
yeah. I was rooting. I'm obviously any team from Africa I'm cheering for. I lived in Africa for 2 years, so I'm obviously cheering for Ghana. That's where I live. That's the African team that I want. And
Yeah,
luckily they made it through. But no, super cool to see Ivory Coast go through for the first time ever to the knockout stage. So let's see if they can go any deeper.
wild if they have a good run. I mean,
But
not wild, but I could see them getting pretty far.
yeah. Speaking of jerseys, I'll have to see if I can find it and I'll send it to you and you can maybe show it on stream next week. But when I was living in Africa, it was during the World Cup. So I was actually
Yeah,
living there during the World Cup. This was back in 2014 World Cup. But Ivory Coast had this sickest jersey. So their like mascot or whatever is an elephant, right? The Ivory Coast. They had the coolest jersey. I'll find it. It's orange. It had this huge elephant and stuff on the front of it.
yeah,
Such a sweet jersey.
that's
But
awesome.
excited for them. The other game, not the only other game, but crazy game. So Ecuador versus Germany.
I was
What do you think?
actually
I wish we would have had the odds. The odds had to have been insane on this.
I'm trying to remember. Yesterday we talked about it, but I want to say it was like 70% Germany
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
at least. Definitely more. But I would have never guessed this, honestly.
I don't think anybody would have guessed it.
Yeah. Um, I walked by, I was watching it, but then second half, it was halftime, and I was like leaving my apartment, and I watched by a TV outside like a restaurant playing it, and it said 2-1, and I was like,
Yeah.
no way.
And it was the last, not last minute, but I mean, they scored Ecuador scored their second goal in like the 77th minute. So it was
Yeah.
late into the game, which,
That's like the worst though when you're trying so hard to not even let them in your half. It's we had a game like that last year and I don't think I've ever looked at the clock more. I'm like staring at it. Okay, 20 more minutes, 15. I'm like, I can do it. I just need to kick it up.
yeah. No, it was crazy. I wasn't watching the game. I was like loosely following it. And then I created the bot that we're using that's creating all of the end of match graphics. So I
Yeah.
got an email like, hey, like the match is over. Like I get an email like 15 seconds after the match ends. So I get this email, oh, the match is over. And I'm just thinking like, okay, last I checked, it was tied, like Germany for sure, either won or drew.
Yeah.
And I pull up the image and I was like, Ecuador 2-1. I was like, no freaking way. Like, that is
Insane.
so crazy. But I mean, good for them.
qualify now or no? It's third.
I don't know. That is actually a good question. I'm gonna pull it up. Um, group stage. Let me just look at this because I actually do want to know the answer to that.
Germany's just like the Netherlands, like they're having a really hard time with the clean sheets, which
I
I think could just be
know.
a combination of nerves and being in a World Cup, but also, yeah,
I
it's
don't
not.
think Ecuador qualified, which is so sad that you beat Germany in your last game, and then you still don't go through.
You're like, well, we can beat Germany, and there's
Wait,
teams that are going through that lost to Germany.
I think okay. Yeah, no, they did. It did qualify them, so they
Wow,
are through. That's awesome.
that is. I
That
don't see
is
them having a
awesome.
huge run in the tournament, but it's amazing that they're even in the knockout round.
Yeah, 100%. No, I was super excited to see it. I love the upset. Like even if it's
Oh
against my
yeah,
team, there's nothing better than just a good upset.
yeah, it's
So
amazing. I mean, when we were at San Diego, I don't even know who we beat. We beat like one of the better teams, the Pac-12 at the time, and it was like the most amazing thing ever. I'm like, oh, we beat you guys, and you guys go to like Stanford or something. So it's
yeah.
definitely obviously different in the World Cup, but an upset's an upset.
So take us through the Netherlands. Obviously, they won. They're
Yeah,
looking good, honestly. Like they've
yeah,
they've obviously. I think you already mentioned like they've had some issues with the clean sheets, but they're scoring goals, uh, which is good. I mean, that's what you need to win games. But yeah, I mean, take us through that match.
I I thought they looked really good first half, but obviously the goal they conceded was like I don't know. I think they're just having a hard time with the clean sheets, and it could just be a combination of like the World Cup, like I said, but it's something that they can fix. Like if they're scoring 3 goals and conceding one, like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You won.
Yeah,
It's just like as long as it's not 3-2, 3-1, it's a big enough difference. But
yeah,
the first 2 goals in 6 minutes were pretty crazy. The first one was an own goal. I don't know if you
yeah,
saw it,
yeah. I did.
which I never wish that on any defender or
Oh,
goalkeeper, anyone. It's like the worst feeling in the world. But when it's for Netherlands, I don't really care.
yeah,
The second goal was a pretty goal. It was off cross, back end, back post. So yeah, but I don't know. I think that they're playing really well and they can have a good run, but they also need to fine tune these little things because they're not going to beat a Spain or a Portugal by conceding a goal to Tunisia.
yeah. And I'm sure like I feel like now that teams are getting ready for the knockout round, like the next few days, like I wish I could be like a fly in the wall, like
Yes,
in these locker rooms, because now all these teams are going back to wherever they're training, right? They're going back to their training grounds, and not that the group stage matches aren't serious, but now it's like
but
you
now it's
lose, you
like
go home, you know. So now it's like you said, we can't concede a goal to Tunisia, right? Like it's serious now, even though it was already serious. Like
and yeah, we'll get to it, but also other teams that have done so well and then kind of fall into teams that aren't even qualifying. I'm like, all right, okay, obviously it's that these games don't necessarily matter because they're already qualified, but it does matter in terms of momentum and stuff.
yeah, I was obviously before you even joined the team, Sergio and I had started this show up and we were doing these shows and I'd mentioned it a bunch, but like, so last World Cup, you know, the Cinderella story was Morocco. They had gone super deep. And
Yeah,
I think this cup has also proved like when it's just one game, like anything can happen, right?
and
So it's like, I mean, we've seen Cape Verde draw with Spain, right? The
yeah,
tournament favorites. And it's like once you get into a knockout stage, it's like, okay, you end in a draw. Realistically, like when you get to PKs, I don't want to say it takes the skill out of it, but like it does to the point where like anything can happen if you go to PKs. If a Cape Verde can take a Spain in the knockout round to PKs, like at that point it's a coin flip, right? Whereas before
yeah.
the match starts, like you know you probably have Spain at like 90% odds against Cape Verde. You get the PKs, those odds are totally flat, right? It's 50-50. And so
Those are deadly. They're yeah.
that's what I love about the knockout round. Now that we're getting there, I mean, the first knockout round stage will be on Sunday. Is like this is where the crazy stuff starts to happen and the Cinderella stories start to happen. And what I love is now that people, I feel like this happened last cup, and obviously it happens every cup. But like now that teams are starting to get knocked out, like it's not like football fans around the world just give up on the World Cup. Like there's 5 billion people watching this World Cup. And so what I feel like tends to happen, what I end up doing, like I don't want to put bad juju out there, but like the US is going to get knocked out eventually, right? At some point.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I love is like, okay, the US gets knocked out. Now I just end up supporting some random country, right? Like it'll probably be France because that's who my football bracket has winning. But like, as teams start to get knocked out, all these football fans around the world, like, well, they still want to watch and they still want to cheer. So then you start getting like people from all over the
Bandwagon fans.
world rallying around these countries. So like last cup, it was Morocco, right? And like if you were following like ESPN and stuff, like they were doing stories. I'm like, oh, Morocco is into the semifinal. Like the whole world almost starts to get behind kind of these smaller
Yeah.
like teams and stuff, and it gets fun when a random team, quote unquote, like ends up getting deep, and so it gets fun. It starts to get really fun, but
So if
um,
France and USA get knocked out, who are you cheering for?
well, I mean, hopefully Ghana's still in at that point.
Say they're not.
Um, if Ghana's not in, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see Spain win, like have Yamal win. I felt like that. I mean, somebody fact check me on this, but I think Mbappe won his first World Cup when he was like 19, right? I want to somebody fact check me on that, but I
Yeah.
think so. Like, I don't know. I think
23, right? This one 4 years ago, and then because he's 27, I
so.
believe.
27 minus 8. Yeah, he was 19. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So it'd be cool to see him. Like, obviously, he's the hot topic. He's the superstar of the world right now. Speaking of Yamal, I don't know if you follow this much, but one of his Panini blockchain cards sold. So there was a Messi card that sold yesterday from
Yeah.
this new World Cup drop. I think the Messi card was like 125,000 or $175,000, and everybody's freaking out. And then I have to pull this up because I don't want to misquote it. But
Ronaldo
then
too.
if it did, it wasn't as hot as the Messi one was. Forgive me for like having my phone out on stream, but I want to get this right. So the Messi one sold, and everybody was like freaking out, right? Because it was sold for like 125,000, I think. And then okay, here we go. Messi one sold for 175,000, and that was like crazy. I think that was 2 days ago, and then
Yeah.
yesterday the one of one Yamal sold for 210,000. So I mean,
That is
Yamal is
wild.
like he is the
That makes
thing right
sense.
now. He is the
But
hot
he,
topic. And what's crazy is if they win the World Cup, that card, the value, like somebody that paid 210, like the value of that's going to go even higher. So it would be cool to see them win it, but I don't know. I think if the US got knocked out and France, the only reason I'm cheering for France is because I mean I want to win the Meebit bracket. But
yeah.
if
We
it's
put that
not
as
US or France, like I would love to just see like some random underdog, like
yeah.
give us something fun. Like give us a final that's just like crazy.
I will say this is probably not great. I don't know. But seeing like the Spain coach like crying so happy, I'm kind of like, okay. But seeing like the South Africa coach, I'm like, oh my God, like that's so cute. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It means so much to them. And I think that obviously a player's a player, a team's a team. You can't look down on a team because they're the best. Like obviously it's just fun to root for the underdog.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, moving on to the next match. We had Japan versus Sweden. What were your thoughts on that match?
Um, I honestly thought that Japan would execute and win it, but I think that watching the match, it was a fair score. Sweden had a great goal, and now Japan's going to play Brazil, so that'll be an interesting game because I feel like they're both pretty. I don't want to say equal, but I think Brazil this year isn't as strong as other years, so it might be a win for Japan.
Yeah. No, the Sweden goal was crazy. We got copyright stricken for showing stuff. We'll have to talk to Sergio and see. I would love to do like have you guys do like top 10 goals of the group stage or
Yeah,
something.
that'd be
That would
fun.
be fun to review. Obviously, we would get taken down by FIFA, but no, that
At least they
Sweden
would notice
goal.
us.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's how you get on their radar. You just got to break their rules.
Yeah.
That Sweden goal was it was beautiful goal. But
Like they were
again,
due for a goal or not, obviously they didn't win, but due for something like that to happen.
yeah, I feel like somebody who played really well in the qualifiers because Sergio and I were following that really close when the UEFA was because Sweden barely made it into the cup. Right, they had to come and qualify in through kind of that UEFA whatever the qualifier there, and somebody that played extremely well in those matches was Victor Gyökeres, and I
Mhm.
feel like he's been pretty quiet so
Yeah.
far in the tournament. I mean, he was scoring tons of goals in the qualifiers for the World Cup, and at the same time, the Champions League was going on, and he was scoring. He was like the talk of the town, and I
Mhm.
feel like he's gone pretty quiet in the cup. Which hopefully, I mean, I think Sweden is through to the knockout stages, so hopefully he can come alive. I think he's Sweden's best player, and so I think that'll be beneficial to them if he can catch a little spark.
Yeah, I agree. I think the World Cup just brings out different players and people, like people that aren't necessarily stars in the qualifiers or on national teams at all are stepping up, and then vice versa. So it's interesting to see how it plays out. But I think that once you kind of you break the ice a little bit, like his goal, I think it's going to be lights out.
Yeah, get going. Yep, I agree. And then last game, obviously, the motherland, the one
The
and
motherland.
only Sergio's favorite team in the cup, the red, the white, the blue,
USA.
the
Uh,
USA.
this was disappointing, I would say. What would you say?
Gosh, yeah. I mean, like, there's no worse way to lose a game than in the friggin' 97th minute.
It's nauseating.
Like, it's
It's
like,
obviously this is so different, and women's college soccer is not the World Cup, but we were playing UCF in the fall, and it was 1-0. We were up, and UCF's like a pretty good team, Central Florida. And with 11 seconds left in the game, they had like a transition, and had like three shots, whatever, end up scoring, and there's like 4 seconds left, and it was just heartbreaking. We didn't
yeah.
lose, but like after the game, I sat and stared at a wall for like 10 minutes, and I was like, "No one speak to me. I cannot do this."
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that would be. It's funny because Ghana won their first game of this cup in the 97th minute. So I was on the whole. I've now experienced both
Yeah,
ends of
you're
the
like
spectrum. I've experienced winning it in the 97th minute, and now I've experienced losing it in the 97th minute. But
the best feeling ever or the worst. So
terrible way to lose. Obviously, the U.S. Would have liked to win that. There's two things. Well, first thing is the U.S. continues their winless streak against European countries since 2021, which is insane. That's not
not a good
good
stat because we're going into the knockout round with them.
against the European Bosnia, right? So hopefully we can break that streak in the knockout round. I will say though, I will give props to Turkey. Like obviously they had nothing to lose, right? They're already
Yeah,
out of the tournament. They were playing their hearts out. I just felt like the whole match they were just it was like I don't want to say a brawl, but like
yeah,
you could just tell like they were just playing for their country at that point. They just wanted to prove like they wanted to prove something. I don't know what it was, but they just outworked the U.S. They just looked like they were playing harder. They wanted it more. Which who knows? Like maybe that the U.S.'s game plan was just like, hey, let's relax, let's rest. Like they didn't bring in a lot of their players until like the 83rd minute or whatever it was. But it's hard because we scored so early, right? Like we had the momentum so early, and maybe that was the problem. Maybe they just like, oh, yep, we scored. Like we're gonna go into coast mode and just kind of take
yeah.
it easy. But Turkey just they did not stop the whole match. It was just attack, 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 and they
I was
won.
happy for them, honestly, because it's disappointing, but I don't. There weren't the same starters for the U.S. that they usually start.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that they obviously played with more heart than I don't want to say more heart because sometimes that's like not necessarily true.
yeah,
They played with a lot of heart, and that's what win games. Talent doesn't. So
yeah,
U.S. qualifies, they don't let them have the win. I think that also the U.S. gets like momentum off of people doubting them. And I think that now that they've lost again, people are gonna be like, oh well, same old US, like
Yeah.
whatever, we're not gonna make it. And I think that maybe that's something that they use as fuel in the knockout round.
Yeah. And hopefully like getting the loss out of the way now is like, okay, we experienced a loss, but now we can't lose again, right? Like
Yeah.
let's move forward. But and like I said, we know who we're playing. We're playing Bosnia, so it's we'll
I
see.
think it's a winnable
We'll see
game,
what we
but
can do.
again, I'm not in like the US, but I do think that this is a good opponent for like the first knockout
Yeah,
game.
yeah, I agree. And then there was one other game yesterday, Australia and Paraguay ended in a draw.
It's kind of a boring game.
Yeah, wasn't much there. I think Polymarket actually even had it like estimated to be a draw, which was the expected result. So,
I
any
think
any other
Sergio,
thoughts on that?
no. I mean, they both lost to the US, haven't really performed well. Australia has one win, I believe, a win, a loss, and a tie. They're second place in Group G, so they're going to qualify. And then Paraguay is going to play Germany round of 32, which I think will be a blowout, in my opinion. You never know. Yeah, that. Oh yeah, they're going to be very because it's so easy to underestimate these teams and be like, oh, whatever, we're Germany, like we're gonna step all over them, but then you don't, and you're kind of like, oh, shoot,
Yeah,
like I need to lock in. This is the World Cup.
yeah. Oh, that would be brutal though for Germany to lose back to back to Ecuador and then Paraguay and get knocked out of the cup. Like that would be
Crazy, low key. That'd be fun to watch
that would
though.
be bad. That would be bad news. Um, no, that was good. That was it for yesterday. Great games. We got a lot of games coming up today that we'll
Yep.
also kind of look at, and then some other games over the weekend. But any specific game today that you're
There's a
looking
lot of.
forward to?
I I think that the France and Norway game is going to be really fun to watch. Seeing
That's the game.
Mbappe, Holland. Did you see the press with Mbappe or no with Holland? And he was like, "It's my speciality to score goals," and I think it's the funniest video ever. I think I've watched it probably 15 times. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you guys should go watch.
I saw that. I also thought it was funny. I think it was after their last match. Holland was getting interviewed, and he just like, yeah, like France is probably going to beat us, and Mbappe
Yeah.
is really good. Like it's fun how he can just like be lighthearted and like
I
admit
wonder,
the
yeah,
truth. But
if I ever said that, my coach would probably be like, "You need to go
yo,
and take that back. Like this is looks bad on us." But then again, like Holland is Holland, amazing, and if they beat France, then he can be like, "Oh, like I was wrong." But if he doesn't, then
yeah,
he'd be like, "I didn't say we were gonna."
yeah. No, it should be a great match. Like obviously those two guys are in the Golden Boot running. Like they're both scoring goals like crazy. So I think they're both going to be hungry to try to get they're both going to want to score, right? Like they want to score
Yeah,
early.
it's like
Um,
mini Messi Ronaldo type competitiveness.
yeah, no,
Except Holland.
I think it'll be a great match. I think that's obviously the game of the day for sure. It's probably honestly the game of the cup so far. I think that's probably the two like biggest teams with the biggest superstars actually playing each other.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's really been any other like big superstars that have had to play each
not
other.
in the group stage at least. I think
Yeah,
once we get to
so
the knockout, obviously it'll be really big games. But
yeah,
yeah,
so I'm excited for that one. That's definitely the one I'm looking forward to. Excited to see what jerseys Norway is going to wear.
yeah.
Love their jerseys. Other than that, we've got Senegal versus Iraq. Um, Senegal, I think, has already qualified through. And so, or no,
Senegal,
they need to win.
yeah, and then Iraq also needs to win. But I think that Senegal is more favored on play market
Yeah.
than looking at right now.
So this actually might be an interesting game because both teams need a win to get through.
So I think it'll be. I'm thinking of the term that my coach would use, but it's just like send it up and try to score, hope for the best, and don't get scored on. I think that's
Yeah.
probably their mindset, but obviously a little more professional than that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wonder if So I guess if they end in a draw, then both teams probably don't qualify. So it's just win or go home. It's essentially a
Yeah.
knockout game for them. It's just win
Yeah.
or go home.
Both go home, then I'm like, no, that's not what a competitive mindset is. But maybe one of them, if they're not playing as well and they know they probably should lose, just let the other team go through. Forget
You can take it.
that'd be crazy.
Rigged,
Uh,
fixed matches.
yeah, I would say less exciting game in terms of like what I want to watch today, but still obviously going to be a good game, good soccer, football. The game after Spain Uruguay, they play at 8. Spain will win the group if they win or draw, so they're in a good spot. But I think Spain will play well and win. They're kind of getting their momentum back after their tie to Cape Verde, so it should be a good game.
Yeah. So Uruguay, they need a draw at least to have a chance. And then I think if they do draw, they still need Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia to draw.
Yeah.
So we're at the point of the group stage now where it's like you need like a lot of things to happen, right?
Wonder when these teams play at the same time, if the coaches are kind of like checking the score of the other games during their game.
they've got to be. I'm sure they do it. Like when you're at like a US sporting event. Actually,
Hmm.
college football is a good example.
Yeah,
Like you're at a college football game because like it's football Saturday, right? There's all these games happening.
best day ever.
And if you're at the stadiums, like watching the game, they always end up at some point showing like scores from other
Yeah.
games. And it's funny because you'll hear the crowd's reaction. Like
Oh yeah.
you'll hear, in fact, it happened in one of the World Cup games. I think it was, I can't remember which game I was watching, but the announcer actually said like, oh, you can hear the crowd roaring because they just showed a score of another game that was going on.
That's
So,
awesome.
but yeah, I think if you're playing at the same time, like, you're probably aware, especially if it's like your tournament is on the line. Like, I
Which
feel like
college
you would
football
be aware. What was that?
which college football team do you support?
I mean, I live in Utah. My family's all like diehard BYU fans.
Yeah,
I never caught the bug. Um, so I mean, I guess if I had to say I'm a BYU fan, that's probably what I would be. But
they're
I
pretty
like the
good though.
Oregon Ducks. Yeah, they are. They've turned their program around. NIL really helped them. They got a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
big heavy hitter donors. So, but I like the Ducks too. I like Oregon Ducks mainly because Nike
classic.
just
Yeah,
their jerseys like
and they're always
are
good.
just they're so sick.
Definitely a good team. Headquarters.
Maybe we'll have to do Meebits college football.
That would be fun.
That would be
Yeah,
fun. Take on those
yeah,
jerseys, but no. So yeah, Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia needs to also end in a draw for Uruguay to have a chance. So, like I said, we're at the point in the group stage where things could like you could literally be in at one point but then be out at another because another team like I think that would be the painful thing where like you go do your game, you win or do whatever you needed to do and think you're through, but then another result from another match happens that ends up kicking you out.
yeah.
Like that would be
Because
very
it's so out of your control
painful.
that
Yeah.
if you execute, you still might not have a chance.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
name
technically you put yourself in that position by not
yeah,
winning previous games, but still painful to be in and then be out, right? And it's
yeah,
going to happen at some point. It's going to happen to somebody, but
you're gonna lose
um,
at some point. Some people say that it's better to lose early and not have the heartbreaker of making it far and losing, but I
yeah.
don't think it's true.
So those two teams, speaking of those two teams, so Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde, they played today. So they need Spain to win. If Spain wins, and then one of them wins, so Saudi Arabia or Cape Verde win, then they would be through. Which
Yeah,
I think of all of this, I would love to see Spain win and then see Cape Verde win, just because Cape
yeah,
Verde is they're kind of the Cinderella story at the moment, right?
yeah.
Nothing's too crazy yet, but to see them through to the knockout round would be really cool. I would have
I think
loved to
it.
see Curacao because they're
Mhm.
the small, like the fact that they're even in the World Cup with a country population of 150,000 people is
Yeah,
like that's like a small rural town in the U.S. And you've
it.
filled it an entire football team that has qualified to like. I don't think people
No,
grasp the
it's crazy. I think that I don't know the population of San Diego, but that's
a
probably
couple
runs
million.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy to me that you
I
could
mean,
just
like
build a world.
150,000. We're literally talking like a little farm town in the Midwest has fielded a World Cup team and they've made it to the World Cup. Like it's crazy.
I love it. That would be really, really awesome to see them make it. Also, yeah, Cape Verde. I think that the goalie who's been a star is due for another great performance.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see if he plays well today and kind of gets them through.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think the odds on play market are pretty even between Saudi Arabia and them, so I think it'll be a good matchup. But I'm pulling for Cape Verde to
Yeah.
Cape Verde get through. I think Spain will win, obviously. So I think those two teams are probably looking at that as Spain is going to go do their thing. Like
Yeah.
Spain's going to take care of that half of the equation for us.
Mhm.
Now we just need to go and win our half of the equation. So,
Agreed.
but
And
and then
then we
we've
have,
got yeah, you got the next one.
yeah, Belgium and New Zealand and Canada. Belgium needs to win because they're pretty favored. So I think that honestly they should win. If they don't, maybe they don't deserve a spot in the knockout round. It's kind of harsh, but they've only been scored on once, so they've been pretty neat in the defensive side of the game. They just need to score more offensively.
Yeah, yeah. I think Belgium. Well, speaking of Belgium, first of all, the Meebits football collectible card, the Belgium kit that Bailey made. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. It actually pulls elements from the Meebits Argyle pattern. Probably one of my favorite kits that we made. It's beautiful.
So cool.
But yeah, I think they need Belgium needs to win this game.
Yeah,
So
but it'll be a fun one. It's pretty late, so I don't know if it might be a highlight game, but yeah, it'll be fun to watch. And then we have same time Egypt and Iran, which a win for Egypt would guarantee them an advance, but a draw would likely send Iran to the knockout stage.
yeah, this is an interesting one because I mean, I think it'd be cool to see Egypt go through. Obviously, Mo Salah, this is probably his last World Cup, I would assume. He's kind of an unk,
Yeah,
right? So it'd be cool to see them get through. I think, though, on the flip side, like Iran, obviously with everything that's going on
Mhm.
in their part of the world, right? Like to see them through would be a cool story for the country, right? That even though with all the
yeah,
conflict and everything happening, that their team has come through and qualified to the knockout stage. So I think I'd be happy either way here with whoever whoever wins this.
yeah. And I'm blanking on the Iran player's name, but he had a really interesting story that made me wanna root for them. I think it was that his brother and his dad were both had passed away due to, like, everything happening in Iran, so, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'd be happy either way with this. Whatever one goes through, goes through.
Yeah,
So, well, that's all the games for today. A ton of them, obviously. And then before we get back to the show on Monday with you and Sergio, we've got a whole slew of games coming over the weekend,
yeah,
which I'm going to pull my screen up here and we can just talk through those real quick. And then crazy, the first knockout game will happen over the weekend on Sunday. So we'll talk about that. But let me pull up the schedule here. Let me just get to the right screen. So we can, I guess, just kind of rapid fire through these.
yeah,
So tomorrow we have all these games we just talked about. Those are happening today. Tomorrow, some big games tomorrow. Obviously, I'm going to be watching Ghana versus Croatia. That'll be an interesting game. I'm almost certain. Yeah, Ghana's already qualified through, so they're already through. But it will be good to see them play through. I don't know any of these six games tomorrow that jump out to you.
not necessarily, I think that they're all pretty interesting matchups, like, Argentina should beat Jordan, Portugal should beat Colombia, England should
Yeah.
win even though they just tied. DR Congo, Uzbekistan, I think DR Congo will win, I wanna say. And
Did you
then
see
Austria.
the? I know Sergio told you, but did you see the Congo fan?
Yes.
The guy that just stands there. So
I'm
cool.
appalled that his arm can stay up. Like, I know
So
that's not the
cool.
point, but for me that I'm like, I can't even hold my arm up for 10 seconds.
Yeah. So cool. And I think what you said is right. Like most of the like again, Argentina should beat Jordan. Portugal should win Colombia. Um, I don't know. I wish I would have had a little more time to prepare for this show. It was kind of last minute I was put onto here, but I don't know that any of these are super like make or break games because like I know Ghana's already qualified. I know England's already qualified. Portugal, I believe, is already through. Argentina's already through. I want to say DR Congo is also already through. So maybe the Algeria Austria game has some significance on the line, but
Yeah, I think
um,
that all of, like you said, Austria's game, they one of them needs to win, but all the other ones, the bigger name teams have already qualified. I don't.
already through.
Yeah, I think that it's unless there's a big upset, it should be exactly how we're predicting it.
Yeah. And then, like I said, we've got the first knockout game on Sunday. Uh, Unfortunately for Canada, they ended up because I think they lost their last game.
Yeah,
It made it so that they didn't get to play their knockout game in Canada, which would have obviously been nice. I believe this match is being played in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say or
LA.
LA instead of Vancouver, which is I think where Canada obviously would have preferred to play their knockout round.
Yeah,
Um, But let's look at actually. Let's just pull up World Cup knockout bracket. Let's just see if it's on here.
and I think the other one is
Okay, here we go. So yeah, South Africa, Canada, Netherlands, Morocco, Germany's through. Bosnia, U.S., Brazil, Japan, Cote d'Ivoire, Mexico, Switzerland, Australia. So maybe I don't know if this is right though because I feel like Argentina is already in. Am I like? Am I tripping?
Argentina was down there.
Were they? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Argentina. Okay, so Portugal is not through, so that'll be an interesting game today. Um, Portugal is not through. Who is the other big team here?
England.
Let's see. England. Yeah, England is not through. So yeah, some interesting stuff could
Yeah,
happen.
it once
Interesting
knockout comes
stuff.
along, it's definitely quicker, more exciting. It'll be fun to really follow it along this weekend and kind of see where who gets out. I
Yeah,
think that I don't know. Netherlands Morocco game Monday. I'm excited for too. We'll get to that on Monday, but yeah.
yeah. What do you? What's your prediction? Hot take, quick take.
Netherlands. It's got to be Netherlands. I actually do
Has to
like
be.
Morocco. Um, they're funny, but I think that Netherlands is better.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I mean that's it for the games that'll happen today and this weekend. Couple of things that I want to just recap. So obviously the Meebits Fantasy Football Match Day 3 is going on right now. Obviously those lineups are locked and submitted. In fact, let me just pull up. Let's just pull this up and see where people are at. Let me just make sure you guys can. Yeah, they should be able to see my screen. K Dog, man, he is. Oh, that's match day one. I was gonna say he is on fire. He's won like every
Yeah.
match day. Caveman, Caveman in the lead right now with the Morocco team. I don't know that that will hold. Caveman actually pulled a Meebit out of a mint, so he's won a Meebit already,
I love
which
it.
is awesome. So yeah, it looks like everybody that had this Morocco lineup is looking the best right now. I don't know that that will end up being the case. It seems like in previous match days you've needed a bit more points. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll see. We'll see if that holds, but obviously one ETH prize pool going here. Um, there will not be any fantasy for the first round of the knockout stage, the round of 32, but we do have some fun stuff coming up looking into the knockout stage. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, we mint is still open. You can still come on and mint packs here. There's still, I want to say, 20. Is that my audio?
Please, may I have your attention, please?
I'm sorry. I don't
We will
know.
be testing the building's fire alarm system. Please regard
Sophine
all.
is having a fire right now, apparently.
May I have your attention, please?
Guys, I don't know what's happening. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at MIU right now,
Fire
so
alarm system.
You're good. I can mute your mic for a second on stream. So they can't hear it. Oh, it looks like it stopped.
I
Okay.
muted myself. If it starts again, I'll mute again.
Hopefully your building isn't burning down and it was just a test.
Of course, they're testing
But
during stream time, but sorry, guys. You know, intern
um,
life. Yeah.
Always something new on these streams. So there's drilling when you're in the studio or whatever it is. There's always something
Fire
new.
lot. That one's new. At least I don't have to go downstairs.
I hope. I'm guessing Sergio's not watching, but he'll laugh at that. We'll have to tell him that happened. It's just like totally on
It's
point.
like a
But
clickbait. Fire around the street.
anyways, yeah, Mint is still open. There's still, I want to say, 20 or 19 Meebits hidden in those packs. So Mint away, you can reveal there's 2 pig Meebits that are still in there, which is crazy to think about. The bracket game is going to be starting. So the bracket is about to start trickling down. This is what I'm super excited for, to start to see people's brackets start to take form, see how these break down, see what people have. This is interesting. I'm just going to look through one of these. Let's just see real quick. Portugal, Norway, Egypt, they've got them in there. So this is actually interesting. They have Iran and Egypt, which can't happen anymore because one of them is going to have to go through today. So yeah, this is going to be fun. Once this knockout round starts and we can start going through people's brackets and see how that plays out, that's going to get interesting. Let's just check the markets too, actually, real quick, and just see for some of these games that are happening today. I think Spain is still, or France, is France still? Yeah, France is still predicted. That's interesting. Argentina has passed Spain. That will be interesting. Yeah, that's kind of a draw there. Anything speaking to you here? Any crazy odds? I don't see anything too crazy.
Not necessarily. I think, Portugal and Spain having 50-ish
Yeah,
percent. Not that it's surprising, but I think that the teams that they are, I don't know, it shouldn't be more than that, in my opinion.
yeah.
But no, I think everything makes sense. Algeria, Austria would be an interesting game because they're both pretty even.
Yeah, this should be
Senegal
should be
got a
interesting.
lot of percentage over Iraq or Iran.
Interesting to say the least. Well, I think we can wrap it up. It's already been an
Yeah.
hour. Holy cow! Time flies when you're streaming.
Mhm.
Yeah, stay tuned. Obviously, we'll if you're not following the Meebits football account, follow there. We put out all the scores. Everything gets published there. We also have a really fun graphic that we've made that's going to happen during the knockout round. So you'll be able to see the tournament kind of take place there and follow how the bracket's playing out. If you just follow that Twitter account. And any crazy weekend plans?
None.
Nothing
Just
crazy.
soccer. Yeah. What about
College
you?
football. I'll probably go out to the lake. We just bought a jet
Nice.
ski, so we'll probably go hit the lake,
Okay. That's so fun.
do some water sports, but we'll see what happens. And obviously
Awesome.
football. Gonna be watching
Yeah.
football all weekend.
Yeah.
For sure,
Got
France
it.
Norway today. Got to watch that game.
I already see Norway jerseys on the street, so everyone's getting ready.
Crazy.
At least in New York.
Crazy. Well, thank you everybody for joining the stream. Glad I could come back again. You'll have Sergio, hopefully,
If we find him.
if we find him. We don't know where
Yeah.
he is. For all we know, he'll end up literally in Mexico and he'll stream from the streets
We're
of
gonna
Mexico
see him
City.
on an ESPN stream. He's like, with a
One
bunch
of
of
those- He'll
people.
be walking a duck with like a leash with a Mexico
Yeah.
jersey on it, like through the streets or something. So,
That'd be awesome.
well, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for stopping by, everybody.
All right. Bye,
See ya.
guys.